Welcome. I'm Adam, a consultant with the Art of Applying and a graduate of the University of Virginia's Darden School of Business. Today we'll be looking at a question from our Q&A vault about low grades. Let's see what the client had to ask our consulting team.
Hey there, you're watching Ask the Art of Applying. In this series, admissions experts on our team answer real questions from our clients who are navigating the grad school application process. Watch this series to gain perspective and get real expert answers to your most pressing application questions. And if you're interested in learning more about the expert advice, editing, and guidance we provide for the grad school application process, watch the free training in the link below in the description. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more application success stories, application tips, advice, and encouragement. Enjoy the video.
They start with, should I address the C's in calculus and chemistry that I got in undergrad in one of the supplemental essays? Basically, at the bottom of all of the business school applications out there, they allow you to talk about any blemishes in your application. And getting a 2.0, especially in a math class like calculus, might be something you want to highlight and explain why that won't happen again in business school. Not that you take calculus in business school, but there are some difficult math concepts every now and again. So the client goes on to say that Kenesha, who's our founder and CEO, and we'll go on to answering this question, said that a while ago that this was important to do. So the client took a statistics class and got an A. Congratulations. And they have not had time to retake a calculus class. So what should they do? And for additional context, they say that they got a GPA in college of a 3.6. That's really good. And have a GRE score of a 157 quant and a 160 verbal, which is the equivalent of a 610 on the GMAT. So that's on the lower end. Certainly people get in with that score, but you'd want to aim a lot higher to feel comfortable at a top program. But they do acknowledge they're going to retake the GRE in the coming weeks. So our founder and CEO, Kenesha, responds and says, yes, you should address the C's in your optional essay if you go to the timestamps of the weekly Q&A calls in the resources folder. So basically, every week, all of our clients have the opportunity to sit in on these weekly calls that a variety of our consultants host, and they can all get together and ask oftentimes similar questions and see live editing of essays. And it's a really helpful resource that comes with all of our packages that we have here. And so essentially, because we transcribe those calls after the fact, Kenesha goes on to explain that you could search the word optional, for example, and you'd find over 20 times recently where we've discussed this very thing. So if you don't want to wait for the next time you talk with one of our consultants or join one of those weekly calls, this person could just go in and search the last time we talked about this to get some great answers. The client says, thank you for answering my question and pointing me to a great resource. She says, you're welcome. And then we end with another client actually chiming in here, which is the great thing about the Q&A vault is other people can see the answers and other people can add additional questions on top of that. So this other client says, Kenesha, what about withdrawing from a class? Basically, this person dropped something in college, or maybe they withdrew from some supplemental coursework since then. More likely, it's the former, that they were in college and took a difficult class or had some difficult life circumstances and decided to withdraw. And they ask, do we address those in our optional essays also? She quickly responds, yes, you should do that as well. The client says, yikes, okay, I'll do that. I didn't do it at first because I thought it would be drawing too much attention to the issue, but I guess it's better to address than not. And this is where our CEO wraps things up by saying, drawing too much attention, quote unquote, to an application blemish is not a thing. I agree. There's no way to hide that kind of thing because the AdCom is going to see it on your transcript no matter what, right? They're going to scan through these pretty carefully, especially if they're thinking about admitting you and you're getting towards the end of the process behind the scenes. So you may as well spotlight it yourself, own up to it, present a game plan for why it will not happen again, particularly in grad school. so that they'll feel comfortable that you'll pass your classes and that it won't be too overwhelming for you. You come across self-aware when you do this. You come across as proactive. You come across as future-oriented. So essentially, you want to use that supplemental essay to highlight these things and show that you've moved past them. But you're also able to reflect on where you went wrong without getting into too much detail. So that's it for today's question. I hope you found it interesting and informative. And if you want any help getting into your dream school, please reach out to us at theartofapplying.com.